This is the oblique cello left hand technique, or as many people call it, the violin hand technique. It's a historical forgotten technique that was used on the instrument since its very beginnings until the very end of the 19th century. And although very virtuoso players such as Lanzetti or Romberg used it, it's a technique that has been left aside within the hip world. It's a technique that is surrounded by a lot of skepticism. And the past few weeks I've been experimenting on it, I've been learning a lot about it. I'm very motivated to use this technique more. It's one of the greatest game changers I've faced in my journey as a hip cellist. Why do I prefer calling it oblique rather than violin hand? Because the violin hand is very exclusive. Of course, it makes a lot of sense to assure that this technique comes from the imitation of the violin technique, because the cello is a bass violin. But I wanted to zoom out a little bit the perspective. And when you see bowed instruments from other cultures, you are gonna find a very similar technique to this, where the thumb surrounds the neck of the instrument. Instruments from very different places that actually use this technique, meaning it's a very intuitive position and it's a very ergonomic position. Although for us cellists who have been learning with a way rounder position may seem very unnatural. When I tried the technique out, I experienced a lot of change in the sound. It was a very, very resonant sound. It gained a lot of corpus, and it was a very powerful sound. Another important consequence is that the fingers indeed move very quickly and very strongly, maybe because the inclination of the hand already is compensating for that shortness of the fourth finger. I can cover a bigger part of the cello geography with less changes of position. The vibrato is not as possible. The vibrato started being the most important ornament, little by little, during the 19th century. By the end of the 19th century, it got way more used, but it wasn't until the 1930s that continuous vibrato started being the aesthetic of classical music. With this hand position, you cannot do continuous vibrato. In the same direction, though, you can do beautiful portamenti. They work in a slightly different way as when we do portamenti like this. They flow more naturally. They have a little bit more personality indeed, because they have, so to say, more information. So if you are a cellist, especially a hip cellist, please consider adding this technique. So of course, it's a very big challenge, because it's, again, learning a completely new and different technique, and we know what an effort that requires. But I do think it's possible to do it without forgetting the rest, and I really consider this can be a major game changer. I really believe that this can be a thing within the next few decades of cello playing.